Hello, welcome to our Skin and All YouTube channel. And you know what happens here? We talk about the skin, we talk about life lessons, we talk about mentoring, we talk relationships. You know, that's why I'm called Skin and All. Have you subscribed to my channel? You're missing out on a lot if you've not subscribed. Please subscribe to this channel, watch the videos, like, comment. I'm always here to respond to your comments. So today I want to talk about a topic that it keeps making the rounds, and it keeps making the rounds because every time we are seeing a lot of people doing it more and more. So what am I talking about? I'm sure you know it already, but I would say it so that you know what I'm talking about. So I want to talk about skin bleaching, but the angle we're going to be approaching skin bleaching is going to be a little bit different from, you know, the way I've approached it in several of my write-ups. I want to talk about skin bleaching. I want to look at the two sides of skin bleaching. You know, I was reading Gabrielle Union's book recently, We're Going to Need More Wine. And I realized that there are a lot of reasons why people are bleaching their skin. And unless we try to go into the psyche and into the mentality of the people that are bleaching their skin, we are going to be doing a lot of health education that is not going to make any difference. So why are people actually bleaching their skin? I want to be some sort of devil's advocate here, and I want to argue for and against skin bleaching. So let me first talk as a dermatologist. What exactly is skin bleaching? So skin bleaching refers to any process where you are using either a chemical or whatever it is to try and lighten your skin, to give it, you know, a lighter shade or a different shade from what, and a different shade that will be lighter from what you have normally. So if you look at it, that means whoever is bleaching their skin is probably not satisfied with the skin color that they have, and they are trying to bleach off that skin to give it, you know, a lighter look. And just a few lessons. You know, I like to go into the science of everything. Why exactly is skin bleaching? Why can't we just leave people to do whatever they want with their skin? Can't they just leave their skin alone? Can't they just do anything? It's their skin after all. But, you know, let's look at it from the medical angle. Our skin has something that we call melanin. And melanin is produced by what we call melanocytes. Please stay with me. Melanocytes are those cells in the skin that produce melanin. And the melanocyte, they have something where that melanin is stored. It's called the melanosome. There's a lot of mela in this thing. Anyway, if you look at every human being, whether Caucasian, Asian, African, we all have the same number of melanocytes. So you wonder why we have different color. The reason why we have different color, the first major reason is, you know, the way we are to the equator. Okay, that's number one. Then number two, the kind of melanin that we produce. So for dark-skinned people, we have more of what we call eumelanin. It's a darker form of melanin. So whether the dark-skinned person looks fair, whether the dark-skinned person looks really dark, it's the same type of eumelanin that we produce, just that there are different shades of it. So for the Caucasian skin person, they have more of what we call pheomelanin. It's a lighter, like a reddish kind of melanin. So why is melanin important? Melanin actually protects us from the UV rays of the sun. That's the ultraviolet rays of the sun. So the sun has, apart from the fact that it's involved in producing some hormones that we need, like vitamin D especially, there are also some effects, some deleterious effects from the sun, from the ultraviolet rays from the sun. So we have ultraviolet A, ultraviolet B, ultraviolet C. And there are different wavelengths. Ultraviolet C does not reach the surface. It doesn't reach us because the ozone layer helps us to filter it off. The ozone layer is protective of the other ones too, but they still get to us. Ultraviolet A and ultraviolet B. Ultraviolet A is especially important in photoaging. When you hear the word photo, that means sun-induced aging. So it's important. So when you say someone has wrinkles, early wrinkling and all that, ultraviolet A is especially important in causing that. Ultraviolet B, on the other hand, is more important in causing sunburn and also in sun-induced skin cancers. One thing about the melanin, the type of melanin that is produced in blacks, is that it protects us against photoaging, it protects us against sun-induced skin cancers about almost 3 times the way it protects Caucasian skin. And so that's why I recall that when I was abroad for my training, some part of my training when I went for mentorship, in the clinic where it was mainly a Caucasian based clinic, most of the patients were Caucasian. At least, if we had like 10 patients, 2 or 3 of them would have had one skin cancer or the other. That is how common skin cancers can be. In fact, skin cancers it's one of the most common type of cancers, but it's not really, much emphasis is not placed on it like the other ones because of the kind of mortality that the other ones cause. And because a lot of Caucasians already know the type of skin that they have, and they use what we call sunscreen and a lot of sun protective factors. But when you now come to dark skin, you wonder, I already said that our kind of skin protects us a lot against sun-induced skin cancers. But the type of skin that we have, despite the fact that it protects us against sun-induced skin cancer, is not enough to protect us against aging from the sun. So if you take somebody that has been using sunscreen for years, and another person, maybe they're both in their 50s or late 40s, someone has been using sunscreen for years, and the other person is not using sunscreen, you would see the difference, because the wrinkling on the skin of the person that is not using sunscreen is going to be more obvious than the person that has been using sunscreen. And when we talk about sunscreen, we are talking about sunscreen, a cream that has something that protects you from the sun. There are different types of sunscreens. We have the ones that we call chemical blockers. We have the ones that we call physical blockers. There's a different video that I'm going to address the different types of sunscreens. Just know that the best sun protective factor is between sun protective factor of 30 to 50. And whether it's a physical or chemical sunscreen, as long as it's tolerable to your skin, there's none that is not okay. For children though, we prefer more physical sunscreens. So I've told you about what melanin does, how it protects our skin. Then you now wonder, why is someone so intent on stripping their skin of this protective melanin? And there are several agents that people use. We have abutane, we have kojic acid, we have steroids top on the list. And the first ones I mentioned, abutane, kojic acid, they do it in it's even said a lot of them are being touted as being safe now. But if you look at the other one I mentioned, steroids, I'm sure you know steroids. They are creams that are supposed to be anti-inflammatory, but they also have a side effect of stripping the skin of the color. Okay, and so some people decide to mix it with their body cream and they use it to bleach their skin. But the problem with this is that steroids have a lot of they are very good drugs that we use in dermatology when you need them, but when you don't need them, they have a lot of side effects. And even when you need them, they have a lot of side effects that you can be exposed to. Another one is hydroquinone. Hydroquinone is one of the most potent bleaching agents. But the problem with hydroquinone, and that's why it's controlled in a lot of places, is that if you use hydroquinone for too long, and let's say for over 3 months, you start to get something we call onchronosis. I've talked about it in one of my former videos. I'll tag you to the video. And what happens with that is that you start to have pigment deposition within your skin. Anyway, enough about what people use to bleach and the different things that people use. I'm not forgetting, I'm seeing a lot of videos on Instagram now where people are using bleach, different chemicals, phenolic compounds, where they are bleaching their skin using that. The good thing is that a lot of people that are doing this, they are adults, and one thing about adulthood is we know that there are consequences involved. So now let's go to the other aspect, because like I was telling someone recently that we need to understand why people are bleaching their skin. And when I was reading the Gabrielle Union's book, We're Going to Need More Wine, I realized that there's something that the fair skin that it gives. There's an advantage, whether we like to admit it or not, especially for some industries. If you go into the Nollywood industry, for example, you get there, a lot of the people in the lead roles, and I'm looking at females now, a lot of the females in the lead roles, you see that you get more fair-skinned ladies. I've read a lot of experiences of people where they tell them that, oh, you would have gotten this lead role if you were fairer than this. Oh, you would have gotten this job if your skin, if you could tone it a little bit. I've had patients in my clinic that their spouses, their spouses are the ones actually telling them that you need to lighten your skin a bit more. Babe, don't you think that skin can be lighter? Don't you think your color is not glowing? Isn't there something? And don't minding the fact that you probably met your spouse with that skin color, or you think that she would look better if she was fair. And not just that, you go for job interviews, you find two people equally qualified for the same job, especially females. And I'm concentrating on females because this issue where they have some advantage of fair skin over dark skin is more common in females. Let's be realistic and let's be honest with ourselves. So you find that two people, they have the same qualification. One is fair, one is dark skinned. You realize that it's the fair skinned person that gets the job. I was watching a movie recently. It's a movie that is trending. It's a Nigerian movie that is trending on Netflix. They had a baby, and I think the mother-in-law was saying Wojue Dudu or something like that, saying that she is blackface. You have my friend, for example, has two kids. One is really fair, the other one is dark. And when they go out, they tell the fair one that you are so cute, not like the other one that is really dark. So whether we like it or not, there's something that we are all, not me definitely, but there's something that the society is giving fair skin. There's an advantage that the society is giving fair skin, that unless we try to address this, then people are still going to continue to bleach their skin. Because look at it, if somebody is in the movie industry, for example, and this person, we say talents and all that, opportunities and all that, but when the door is not even opened for you because of the type of skin color that you have, think about it, in the last few years, how many of those actresses that have you seen in lead roles, especially let me go for my Yoruba movie industries now, have you seen in lead roles that have dark skin? Most of the time, when you find an actress playing the lead role and the skin is dark, it's either somebody that is very well established in the industry already, or somebody that has a lot of sponsors in the industry. So the question is now thrown open now. Are we being unfair to people that are bleaching their skin? Or are we not preaching? Are we preaching to the wrong people? Are we preaching to the wrong people? That should be the question I should be asking. Unless and until we begin to address all these maladies, I'm sure that skin bleaching is going to be with us for a long time. I had a conversation with my mom recently, and she was telling me that as far back as then, the 60s, that people had been bleaching their skin way before that. I looked at some articles, I read something, I reviewed some papers, and right from, even the 19th century, skin bleaching has always been a thing. When you look at billboards, you go out there, you see billboards, and you see them advertising a cream. The first time I saw this thing, I found it so ridiculous. So you see them advertising a cream. The picture of the lady that is used to advertise the cream prior to when she used the cream will probably be a darker version of her. And after using the cream, and they tell you she's now glowing, she has become fairer. When she had the dark skin, it wasn't like she had blemishes or anything. By the time she had the fair skin, the other skin that they believe is the better skin, all the difference between that skin and the new one is just that the new one is fairer. So you see billboards like that, same thing. You go out, you are out there at work. The first thing someone is telling you is that, oh my God, you are so dark now. You need to do something about your face. So at the end of the day, I really want to throw this question out. Are people bleaching their skin because of societal pressure? Are they bleaching their skin because of opportunities that are missed? Are they bleaching their skin because they are not, moving forward in the career that they've chosen for themselves? And unless they do that, they are not getting what they want in that industry. So these are pertinent questions we need to ask ourselves, because it's like, I've had a patient before, I was counseling the patient, oh, you need to stop this, you need to stop that. She was like, doctor, see, if I perish I perish. Anything that wants to happen, let it happen. This skin, I'm going to bleach it, because if I don't, I'm not going to get what I want. So what do you tell that kind of patient? She's telling you she has gained insight, she's aware of the consequences that may follow skin bleaching, and she wants to perish if she's going to perish. And it's not that she's insane or she doesn't love herself. It's just because there are some advantages that she feels that she's not going to get if she doesn't do that. So at the end of the day, are we counseling the wrong people? We need to have, influencers in these industries. They need to speak to the who is who in the industry. They need to speak to them. They need to pass the message across and give people roles, not because of the kind of skin that they have, not because of they think that this person is going to sell this film better, but because of the talent that they have, that they are showing. Because you watch some of these movies and you see some people that they've given the lead roles and you are wondering, how did this person get there? So skin bleaching or not, if you look at for Caucasian skin, in fact, when I was reading something recently, and even some Caucasians, some people want to tan, some people want to bleach their skin. They want their skin fair and just to look like milk. So don't think it is a problem of African countries alone. Of course, we have people with darker skin here. We have more black skinned people here. So it's not unusual to find that you are going to have more people bleaching their skin here. But bleaching the skin is not just limited to Africans. And like I mentioned before, maybe if the rate of skin cancers in blacks, maybe if it was commensurate with the rate at which we're bleaching their skin, we're bleaching the skin here, maybe, just maybe, people would have, toned down on the skin bleaching. But as it is now, it's not likely that people are going to tone down anytime soon, because for the rate of skin cancers is not as high as the number of people that are bleaching. And in fact, when we even see skin cancers, most of the time, it's not really in people that have been bleaching their skin for. I've seen a few, but not so commonly seen. It's more common in people that are albinos. Albinos have, their melanin. They don't even have the melanin being produced because of some enzyme deficiency. So because of their skin, think about it, it's more like a Caucasian skin. So they are at risk of skin cancers. Albinos should be using a sunscreen every time, and sun protection is not just about using sunscreen. It's about using sunscreen, wearing some protective clothing, putting on wide brim hats, using sunshades and all that. So at the end of the day, like I said at the beginning of this video, is fair skin giving an undue advantage? Are we being honest with ourselves when we say that love the skin that you have, when we are not giving the people with dark skin equal opportunities, especially in some industries? So at the end of the day, it's left to the stakeholders in these industries that I've mentioned. It is also left, there's a lot of work that the parents need to do. You need to build the self-esteem of your children right from when they are young. Let them know that whatever skin color they have, whatever skin type that they have, they are beautiful in all their different shades. I'm dark skinned. I don't want to become fair. I like the skin that I have, and I hope it still stays like that. I don't want to look fairer than I am right now. I just want to make sure that my skin is healthy, because a healthy skin is the one that is protective. So I'm sure you've learned a lot of lessons in this video. There are so many things that I've said. I want to see your comments. I want to see your thoughts. I'll be here to answer all your questions, and I even want us to have a discussion. What do you think about everything I've said today? It's Skin and All. I've got you covered on your skin, life lessons, mentoring, relationships, and all that. Please subscribe to my channel, watch my videos, like and comment. Till next time again, see ya.